Hello there. What am I doing? I'm quitting, that's what I'm doing. I quit. Welcome to the video. This is Darkstalkers 3 on PS1. I'm playing on a PS2, naturally. But it is the PS1 version, and I'm going to be trying to run through all of the characters, at least. There are a heck of a lot of characters. Well, more than the first Darkstalkers game on PS1, which is Darkstalkers 1. There's no Darkstalkers 2, which I guess would have been Vampire Hunter in Japan. I don't know if that came out here. Anyway, Darkstalkers 3, which is what this is, was Vampire Savior in Japan. Let's see, what else? There's a training mode. It's pretty basic. I have another video. I have other videos on this. I'd probably go into some of these other modes. I'm not going to do it here. I got other stuff to do. Collection is like an art gallery or something. Original character is a mode where you can grind. Well, let's just do this real quick if it lets me. Yes, so I don't have my memory card in where I have my. I ground up a Victor to fairly high level. Let's just do Lilith. I like Lilith. Okay, can I do lowercase? Maybe not. Wait a second. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, this is so bad. I don't know why I did that. Oh yeah, and you can change the colors. Change her skin tone. I just gave her a little tan. Well, that's a lot of tan. And what if I change the color of her tights? Maybe a little more red. A little less green. It's a very subtle edit because I don't want to spend time on this. Okay, orange tights. Well, that's gonna look weird. Anyway, I kind of made her flesh color, didn't I? Well, this is getting really weird. All right. Well, anyway, yeah, I think you get the. Let me change this. This is easy. Oh no! What did I do? Why did it make a noise? I don't know why. I did something wrong. Sure, why not? I forget if this was darker or lighter. Well, we'll find out. I think it was. Whoa. I don't know. This is looking wrong. No, it was lighter. This was very light. Well, that's close enough. I can change her hair color, but that's a bunch. Wait, how many colors is that? It's just one. Should we make her color over here? How about blue, maybe? It's too samey. I could make her blonde. Actually, I like that. That's good. All right. Yes. So those are the three categories you can level up. I think. I haven't done it for a while. And then you just go battle basically, and it's sort of just grinding through. I forget what this is. Oh, so it didn't. Did I screw up? Maybe because it didn't. I think I screwed up. Dang it. Oh, maybe not. Well, I guess I did. I guess I was supposed to pick guest. I don't know. That's a little confusing. So I guess I gotta do this. This is a waste of time. Hopefully after one battle it'll allow us to see. Now this is Vampire Savior uses the health meters differently. When an opponent gets KO'd, your winning character's health meter does not reset. So you have to, as a winner, you have to conduct the next round with as much health as you had left when you KO'd the opponent. So there's much more back and forth, generally speaking, because your health meter does not recharge between rounds. So it's tough to win 2 rounds in a row. No, I didn't. Oh, you have to go through like a whole. Alright, well, you have to go through a whole raft of opponents to get to the level up part, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, that's what you do. You grind through the game over and over and you level up your character, and then it gets easy. So I don't know what the point is. Well, the point was to unlock some special options menus. There's 2 secret options menus that you can unlock with this. I think you can also unlock all the art in the gallery. And I unlocked all the stuff I wanted, which was basically you can unlock the option to do to set the CPU to player 2, so you can play versus mode. You have to see. I don't even have it highlighted here because you have to stick in a second controller, which I do not have in at the moment. But once you have that in and you have the extra option menu set to with the computer, or with the computer as player 2, then you can play versus CPU in versus mode, basically. And that's really what I wanted, because I thought that was the way I wanted to play the game. The other thing, which I don't really want to do now because it takes so much setup. You have to repick characters after each match. Come on. The other thing is you can set the... well, there's a couple other things, but you can set the game system. This is Vampire... Well, Japanese version is called Vampire Savior. You can set the game system to be like two slightly different versions of the game that came out in Japan not long after Vampire Savior. There was Vampire Hunter 2, it's just a sequel to Vampire Hunter, which I guess didn't come out here, and Vampire Savior 2. And both of those are, I think the main difference in Vampire Hunter, the Vampire Hunter games, is that their health meter is more traditional. It resets, the winner's health bar recharges to max between rounds, just like a normal fighting game, instead of staying at whatever it was at. That's, I think, the main difference in Hunter, aside from maybe some characters were swapped around. Hunter 2 and Savior 2, their main difference is in the Dark Forces mode, which you activate by pushing the light punch button and the light kick button once you have a energy charge built up. Well, in Vampire Savior or Darkstalkers 3 mode, it only takes 1 supercharge to activate Dark Forces mode, and it goes into this sort of alternate space where you're in a sort of a powered up state. You have a special attack enhancement, basically, and you can use that to have an advantage on your opponent for a short period of time while you're in this space. And after a set period of time, it's like 10 seconds or maybe less. It must be less. Then you just go back to the regular fight. In Vampire Hunter 2 and Vampire Savior 2, they rebalanced that, basically, so you need 2 supercharges to activate that mode. And instead of having just a sort of extra attack to all your attacks, like I think Morrigan throws bats, or maybe it's Demitri throws bats. Anyway, it just sort of gives them a double attack every time they attack. Instead of doing that, you're just sort of more powerful, higher attack power, better defense. That's kind of the main change they made there. And it also, the Vampire Hunter 2 and Vampire Savior 2 also have different UI colors for the sort of framing graphics and stuff. So that's the main thing you can change by changing those modes in one of the extra menus. I don't super care about that stuff, especially since actually the main change there, the Dark Forces stuff, you can select when you select a character in the main arcade mode. And actually you saw it in the original character mode too. It was the it's DF change versus D.F.Power. And DF change is essentially vampire savior mode, the normal mode, where it only takes one charge and you have the extra sort of dual attack thing. And then D.F.Power is the Dark Forces power mode, which is the Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2 system, where you're just sort of powered up rather than having the dual attack thing going. Okay, so I'm not going to bother with the extra options menus, basically. That was all an explanation to say I'm not going to do that. Yeah, basically because I don't want to get my memory card out and have to swap out my PS2 memory card. Because it's wear and tear on the cards, man, and I don't really care. So this is the default settings. Default difficulty is 2, which seems low. I'm going to set it at 4. That's the default difficulty I was playing Darkstalkers 1 on yesterday. Turbo is only Turbo 2. It goes up to 8, which would be ridiculous. Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, Darkstalkers 1 that I was playing yesterday, basically had 3 speed settings, and I picked 3, and that was pretty fast. I think Turbo 2 here is essentially equivalent to that, more or less. I'm just going to leave it on that. Anyway, that's what the official game speed is, I guess, probably. This is the normal thing. It's actually really easy to map buttons. You just go, oh no, except I'm screwing everything up. Oh, because I was, okay. So normally it starts here and you just hit the buttons you want and it scrolls through the setup, which is pretty slick. So that's that. Shortcut, I imagine, turns off. I was speculating yesterday. I was saying yesterday when I was playing Darkstalkers that I was surprised there wasn't a shortcut option to shortcut all the victory screens and the enemy character selection screens as you're playing through arcade mode, because that essentially would cut out at least one load screen and a bunch of time, because there are some load times. But so I guess they listened to me because they put a shortcut option here, but I'm not going to turn it off or turn it on. Well, actually, I will turn it on just to see, but I'm not going to play with it that way because then it skips all the cool like windscreen graphics and character graphics, and I don't want to do that. That stuff is fine. That's fine. Okay, so I was gonna do shortcut on just a test, and I also want to do a test of. Okay, so here we see the shortcut. Instead of seeing the cool character select screen, we just get a text list of the characters. Now, pushing a different attack button in this game, unlike in Darkstalkers 1, you do get different colors of the character. And then there's the turbo, so I'm just going to go with turbo. Auto, I think, is auto block, which you never want to have. That's no good. Let's just do turbo. Now here's that Dark Forces thing, so I do want to see what this power one is like. This is, again, in theory, the Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Savior 2 system. So it should take 2 power stocks to activate, and you activate by pressing light punch and light kick together. This port, I think, was handled by Capcom themselves. I found out after I was reading on Wikipedia after I played Darkstalkers 1 on PS1 last night, and okay, so I have to save up another. Well, okay, so here's my 2 power stocks. I'm going to activate. Yeah, it took 2 stocks, and I don't have my extra attacks. So I guess I was just, so yeah, that's basically the power. So it's really less of an advantage. I mean, it takes twice as much energy to activate, and you don't have the extra firepower, the outright extra firepower that you do in the DF change, the default DF change mode, which was the normal Vampire Savior mode. Normal Vampire Savior did not have that option, like the arcade version did not have that option. Okay, and you see there, I just loaded right into the next fight. There was no display of the next opponent coming up, no sort of showing the path through the game, none of that. It just went right to the next fight. So that was actually pretty rapid. In theory, if I wanted to play the game, play through like all the characters in the game quickly, which I kind of do, then I would do that. But I love those character graphics. They're really good in this game. So I'm not going to do that. Now, another thing, like notice Anakaris in Darkstalkers 1 that I was playing yesterday, there was a ton of slowdown on his stage. These stages are much less animated in the backgrounds for the most part. And I don't know if that is necessarily reflective of the arcade version. I don't think it was. I mean, I don't think they toned it down from the arcade version that much. So I think it is kind of how the arcade version went relative to the first Darkstalkers. And also, Psygnosis, who handled the first port, they apparently had real problems with the port. It took them like an extra year to finish the game. So in fact, the sequel was already out on, and I guess they mean Darkstalkers 3, it was already out on Saturn by the time the PS1 Darkstalkers 1 port was ready on. So that didn't go so well, and so I don't think Psygnosis was given the chance to port this game. And the Darkstalkers 1 port, the main load times aren't as good as this game, and the main flaw, you could say, aside from missing animation, I think there's less missing. It feels like there's less missing animation here. Like, for instance, Anakaris in Darkstalkers 1, he looked like he was running in like claymation speed, he just had like barely any animation frames, like when he would extend his arms, and they're so huge, the sprite is so huge, they really cut that down to like 3 frames or something. It's really noticeable and really jarring, and it makes him look even slower than he actually is, because you're looking at a single frame for so long as he's moving, or as he should be moving. But then the other thing in the Darkstalkers 1 PS1 port is just slowdown. A bunch of the stages just have a lot of slowdown. As I was saying, they do tend to be more dynamic in the backgrounds, but Psygnosis probably should have toned the backgrounds down more so that the game itself would not have slowdown in terms of the fighting. I don't know if Psygnosis sort of overestimated their ability to get things running at full speed, or just were super sticklers about not wanting to cut down the background. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Anyway, apparently there were problems doing that port, and you see it in the slowdown and stuff. So, but I do like that game. For instance, you'll notice here that the backgrounds, if you compare this with the Darkstalkers 1 port, as I was saying, the backgrounds aren't as animated, but they also aren't as the backgrounds here aren't as animated, but they also aren't as colorful. The Darkstalkers 1 backgrounds are super colorful, where these are much more muted colors, and it does help the characters stand out more. That's definitely easier to see what's going on in the fight. But I do kind of miss all that color and animation from those overloaded backgrounds in the Darkstalkers 1 port for PS1. Also, like, here's my super fireball. It's really tiny. Whereas in Darkstalkers 1, when he throws his EX fireball, I guess you would say, it's this huge demon head. It's just massive. So that could have been an actual arcade change as well. I don't know. There's one other thing I want to try, which is... Ah, shoot. Stop it. Hold still. Bad doggy. Yes, I did it. Yes. So that is Dimitri's Midnight Bliss super move. I think it's quarter circle forward *2 and 2 attack buttons. 2 punch buttons. At least that's what I've been doing to activate it. And he grabs the opponent. He has to be kind of close to them. And he grabs them, lifts them up by their neck, and then changes them into the opposite gender. So I changed J.Talbain into a girl. And then he sort of sucks the life out of them, and they drop to the ground, and then they get up and they're back to their normal gender. But it's cool because you see basically a gender-swapped version of each character you do it to. Can I get Felicia? No, she's too far away. Ah! It's so hard to land, especially on a fast character. All right, so I'm gonna get out of this. So that was the D.F.Power mode and the shortcut option. So I'm going to turn those back off. There we go. Okay, and all right, so let's just try to steam through as many characters as I can get through now. There's even more characters than it looks like because there are a ton of alternate secret versions of characters. So I'm not sure how many of those I'm going to get through. That was the medium kick selection button to give me this red. So I'm just going with the DF change because that's the normal vampire savior mode, and it's just kind of more ridiculous and more fun. And you can do it twice as much. Oh, I picked the wrong speed. Son of a gun. It's way too slow. I don't know how I did that. I skipped right past it, I guess. Medium kick. Yeah, well, it's the first thing. I do wish you could set that to a default so you didn't have to pick it every time. I think in one of the secret options menus you can set the DF setting to a default. I'm surprised you can't do that with the turbo option, or maybe you can and I just missed it. But I didn't read about it in the facts, so I don't know. So here, just one power, and I got these flamey bat things around me to do extra attacks with every one of my regular attacks. So it really does give a huge advantage to the character who uses Dark Forces mode, and they probably decided it was too overpowered and didn't give you enough incentive to use other things. Like, for instance, you can EX your special moves. You can use 2 attack buttons instead of 1 to power up any of your normal. Like here, I'm getting rocked. Let's see if I can do it. EX. There's an EX uppercut. His uppercut really got nerfed in this, so he doesn't. Oh no, I'm thinking of Morrigan's uppercut, aren't I? Never mind. Morrigan's uppercut flies forward a lot more. Another nice thing about this game, I think, is that the characters have more than one win quote. Where I think they do. We'll see, I guess. I haven't really been paying attention. But in Darkstalkers 1 on PS1, they only have a single thing they say when they win to anybody. It's always the same single line. That gets pretty old and it's pretty generic. Oh, shoot, I didn't block that. See, there was an EX fireball, I think. Yes! That's interesting. She turns into twins. That's her gender swap? I don't know. It's such a crazy super, though. What's fun is that in Capcom vs. SNK, or SNK vs. Capcom, which has SNK's version of Demitri in it, you can do Midnight Bliss on, for instance, the Street Fighter characters in that game, and the SNK characters. You can see SNKs in terms. Why am I doing it? I've already gone with it. The way the health meter functions in this game, at least in when you don't have it set to Loser's brand, when you don't have it set to Vampire Hunter 2 mode with the extra options, just in its normal state, it does make it kind of freaky because you lose rounds a lot more than you're used to because the health doesn't recharge between rounds. So I keep thinking, oh man, I'm losing rounds, but it's actually it's just kind of normal because your health gets chipped down and doesn't reset. I love this stage of Rikuo. I guess it's stages are shared in this game, aren't they? That's another difference. This is also QB's stage, but I love this stage. Look at that giant snail eating a huge salmon or something. Now, I'm not using my supercharges. I could at least do this. Get him, energy bats. Oh no, it's not working. Why did I bow there? Is that just what he does at the end of... Oh, I should have tried... Oh, I still have time. Yes! Oh wow, she turns into a mermaid, of course! It's such a cool super move. A blonde mermaid. I love how these... Oh, those are his, those women are in the background of his stage in Darkstalkers 1. With fans. Just kind of dancing. And they might be in the background of his stage here for all I know. I did read, a FAQ, I think it's the FAQ for Darkstalkers, Vampire Darkstalkers collection on PS2, but it describes all the various ports of Darkstalkers games, and it talks about this port. It really says this is a good port, except for the cut frames of animation. He really thinks this holds up well. But I forget what I was going to say. What the heck was I talking about? That was too long an intro. Midnight Bliss. Goodbye, ladies. Oh, he was saying that when there's a mirror match, dang, too far away. Shoot, I'm still. Ah, he switched sides again. Okay, I better get serious. When there's a mirror match, when say two Demitris are fighting each other, he said that the... I already did him, didn't I, earlier? Anyway, that's cool. Oh, he gets a heart that pops out. And when it's a mirror match, say two Demitris or two Talbains fighting each other, he said that they get a lot of the cut animation frames back, which is pretty interesting. Because it only has to have essentially one character in memory for both of them. Silly puppy. I like this kind of smooth jazz going on. Well, I like it. Man, the colors are also reflected in the wind screen portrait. That's awesome. And in these portraits, man. Such great attention to detail. I love it when games have that the color palette is reflected in other parts of the game. Uh-oh. Can I gender swap Felicia? And what would she be? A male cat? I think. Oh, she's too fast is the problem. I think she's gonna blow me up if I keep trying it. Well, what the heck? Oh dear. Dang it, she backed away. Exactly. She does not want to get changed into a dude. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh. I was kind of too scared to let her get close. Oh. Just chopped me out of it for the second time. Oh. No, shit, she's just too fast. I can't just drift up to her. She's just chopping me out of whatever I want to do. Oh, she side switched me and chopped me out of it again. Oh, couldn't even get the fireball off on her. Come on. Oh, way too slow. Yeah, she got me. I deserved it. Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, so you saw there. Holy smokes. Well, I would have... Well, I did lose because I was trying to do something dumb. That was a heck of a victory. Whoops! Because I'm not saving this, but it matters for the video. Gotta be proper and all. So that's one down. I should probably increase the difficulty at least a notch. Let's do heavy punch. Whoa, orange. Green tights, green hair. QB is not in Darkstalkers 1. So she does. I love the honey pot though. Whoa. Oh, kind of pea green tights. Oh man, Victor is so much more dangerous feeling in this one. In fact, there's some super that I saw that I think you see in one of the demos where actually I'm not sure it's a super or just an EX move, but his leg just grows huge. Actually, he's got one with his arm growing huge. Oh my gosh, the bees! Love that scream, too. Oh, shoot. There are no move lists. So I just have to guess at what my supers are, because I don't know them. Oh, he's got a little ghost girl. I don't remember or know what the story is. Man, the wind portraits are amazing. Just the bold, sort of organic perspective. And just the sort of exaggerated features which don't necessarily feel exaggerated, but they just fit into this sense of perspective and power. Really well done. Really great art. Oh man, he's too strong. Now I remember why I was grinding him in the grindo mode. In Dark Force. Oh, he's got a ghost. Got a ghoul on his back. Oh, the butt clench throw. Spectacular. He's got so many more moves than he had in the first game. Some supers for him. Huh. is he afraid of death? I mean, he's this sort of undead golem. But I guess he can get burned into ash or whatever. Now this stage, I was just thinking, I was getting the sound level set and this stage came up, and I noticed that the background here is kind of, oh man, she's so fast, kind of fuzzy. Everything's a little out of focus, and I wonder if they did that to, of course in this mode you can't see it because we're in this little nether bubble. I wonder if they did it to decrease a sense of vertigo that players might have been experiencing, you know? Like maybe if it was sharp, it was just freaking people out too much. Like here you can almost not really tell what it's supposed to be. Unless you really kind of think about it, you're like, wait a second, what? I mean, it's kind of obvious if you look at the ground we're on, which has this really cool perspective going on as you move back and forth. It's kind of obvious that's a skyscraper if you think about it a little. Oh. Ooh. Squish, squish. That might have been no. Maybe it's the one with his arm I'm thinking of. I can't figure out how to do it. Oh man, he's just brutal. Was that a booger? I love that hand. I'm probably gonna have to increase the difficulty. This is gonna take way too long otherwise. I mean, I probably am best with him just because he's the one I've played with the most in that character grinding mode. He was the only one I played in that character grinding mode, but that's been most of my playing of this game so far. Oh! And I've also played him a lot in like the Vampire Darkstalkers collection on PS2. Well, maybe Squatch will take care of me though. Now, as with the Darkstalkers 1 that I was explaining yesterday, I'm playing these PS1 versions because they have cut animation and cut frames. Apparently, I guess that's why, they don't have the red screen flash that the Vampire Darkstalkers games have when a character is killed. Like there, in the arcade version of this, or any other more advanced port of it, there would have been a full red screen flash. The whole screen would have flashed red, bright red. I think just once. I don't think it strobes, but still, red screen flash is not the greatest thing for your eyeballs, for your nervous system. At least not mine. So I don't want to play those or record those. So that means I basically thought I could never play a Darkstalkers game again if I wanted to avoid red screen flashes, because it always happens when at the end of a fight. But in these PS1 versions with their cut down animation, those effects, those red screen flashes are just not here. Okay, this intro is flashy though, so I am going to skip that. Alright, so that was Victor. It didn't even occur to me yesterday. I must have thought of this before, but of course Victor is named after Victor Frankenstein, the scientist. Duh. I guess I'm just going to go along the top row. So let's see. Felicia, I'll pick with light kick. Oh wow. That is super blonde. I was not prepared for that level of blonde. Or agony. I don't always feel like I'm a huge fan of this opponent character here, whose name I'm blanking on, sadly. B.B.Hood. What is B.B. stand? Anyway. You know, she's got rocket launchers and Uzis and stuff. I don't know. See how I feel when I play her. I mean, she's not. It's tough because, you know, the cast of the first game is so. There are several words that I could use here, but I can't think of any of them. Just so iconic. There's one. Felicia's so fast. Such an iconic cast, but you know, that's because they're taking like the classic movie monsters, basically, especially the Universal movie monsters from the Universal horror films. So you know, how do you add to such an iconic cast? So you know, I mean, what is QB? She's this bizarre bee girl. Well, that's, you know. It's kind of a memorable design, but it's not one that, you know, anybody has a past history with or anything as far as I know. I mean, maybe bee girls or something in Japanese cultural history that I'm not aware of, but at least in my cultural background, I've never seen anything with bee girls before. So, you know, they just had to come up with something. Oh, look at that little rat who climbed out of the ground. I've never noticed that before. That was a different wind animation. What was that? Another nice thing with this port is, there's so many things I enjoy about this, but what was I just talking about was, oh yeah, them adding to the cast and what a challenge that must have been. I mean, the Merman's a classic, Catgirls are kind of classic. There's Catwoman, of course. But another cool thing about this port, oh no, he got poisoned. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Is how sharp it is. That is a downer about the PS2 Vampire Darkstalkers collection, which is such an amazing collection in so many respects. I mean, it's pretty much arcade-perfect ports, lots of additional modes. Not as many as their Alpha Anthology collection, I suppose. But it did only come out in Japan, but the graphics are a little blurry. There's a sort of a blur filter. Whereas for these PS1 ports, they actually re-rendered the sprites in, you know, the PS1's native resolution. So they aren't the CPS2 resolution, which is a weird... That's kind of a problem Capcom had converting all their games, their CPS 1, 2, and 3 games, arcade games, to home consoles, was that those arcade systems run at this weird resolutions with sort of rectangular pixels instead of the almost square pixels that we're used to on TV sets. So for these PS1 ports, they had to re-render all the sprites into a TV square pixel resolution. I didn't get very far with him. Whoops. Ah, shoot, I didn't want to continue. Oh, well. There's a little shortcut. That's kind of nice. So there's something... Okay, I'm just going to have to let him kill me, because I can't remember now if there's a game over screen for the characters. Anyway, this way I'll maybe get a high score. I didn't do too well with blonde Felicia here. But what re-rendering the sprites into the native resolution did was it made them just... The graphics are really sharp. I mean, you could argue that, yeah... in having to redraw the pixels and choose different pixels for faces and stuff, you know, the original graphics have been altered a little bit and everything's been moved around a little on the pixel by pixel basis. But it does look really sharp, and I like that. There's no blurring filter on it or anything like that. and I'm outputting this in component. So is there a lose screen for? No, there isn't. Oh, funky music. But I get my high score, which I won't be saving. Let's see. So it's component video out from the PS2 to an open source scan converter, which multiplies the 240p native component signal up to 960p. Then it goes to a FrameMeister, which puts black borders around it to get it up to 1080p. And then that's what I render out and save or capture. So 240p is actually a super resolution for this mode of capture because it's perfect multiplication. In fact, I split the signal. I run it through a what's it called, a matrix. Anyway, a thing that splits it without loss or delay, and so I'm actually playing it on a monitor multiplied 5 times, which is a little too big for 1080p, but it basically means I can see it without rescaling on my 1080p LCD screen, and just the top and bottom are a little cut off. I could do that for the recorded version, but I kind of, I'm recording this for posterity in theory, so I don't want to be missing the top and bottom graphics. Of course, posterity, I really think highly of myself, but that's not really what I think. It's just, but I don't want to cut off the screen. Let's do heavy kick. Oh, kind of a light greeny yellow. So I'm not doing super well as I'm playing here. I'm really talking too much about stuff having to do with the game, but that's the kind of stuff that interests me, so whatever. We're just checking out all the characters, not playing serious. Not going for my all-time high score, my world record high score. Now, I have not always liked Jedah, but what was I playing? Oh, I thought I wasn't gonna like him in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite on PS4, and I had avoided playing him when the game first came out, but I was just playing it recently, and he's actually awesome in that game. He's really fun to play. I had thought he was kind of a technical, sort of hands-off, just stand back and do, throw out floating blades and stuff, but he's actually, you can at least play him as a hands-on claw slashy guy in that game, and he's pretty effective at it and a lot of fun. So we'll see if I can get that same feeling with him here. He feels a little more prone to doing floaty stuff here, which I am less into. I'm not sure he has an extra attack here. In fact, it feels like he has fewer attacks. That's weird. He's got a lot of weird stuff. Like, I feel like he feels much more intuitive in Marvel vs. Capcom Capcom Infinite, actually. Here he does feel like a Swiss Army knife, which is not the kind of character I usually like. Definitely feels like the definition of a Swiss Army knife character. And it's over quickly. So that's how well I do with technical characters. I don't know, just not interested. He was not a playable character in the first game. This guy was. Let's do medium punch. Whoa. Orange pants. Big on orange in these alternate palettes. Oh yeah, I love that portrait of Sasquatch, the fangs. He's such a cutie. No, you know, no slight on the werewolf guy here. He's a handsome werewolf, I suppose. Werewolfed out. I mean, but he is actually, the werewolf guy scares me. Those big teeth, like Sasquatch has big molars, but especially in, actually, it's his portrait in the first game, Talbain's portrait in the first game, where he's just got snaggletooth all over the place. There's just teeth coming out of teeth almost. It's really scary. Whoop. Oh, he's got a mirror, a trailing image. It's actually weirding my eyes out a little bit. I do kind of like this stage. It's kind of a subtle background. Again, the backgrounds in this game don't have the eye-popping color, the bright color that the backgrounds in at least the PS1 version of the first game have. Much more subtle. Oh, he activated his. Look, he's got little... What are those, penguins? That's amazing. Sasquatch, you're so cool, especially in this game. I really like how... In the first game, Sasquatch looks the same for the most part, but actually I don't think he has those leg irons. And he's not quite as cutesy in some of his expressions, but he also isn't as exaggerated in some of his big punches and kicks, which makes him a little less interesting in the first game. And he certainly doesn't have... There's no Dark Forces mode in the first game, so he doesn't have that crazy... I think those are penguins. That was nuts. Whoa, he's just snarling. That was awesome. I want him to snarl more. I don't know if I just sit here and he'll snarl. Oh, I need that black. Oh, see, here he's got the nunchucks. In the first game, he does not have his werewolf nunchucks. All good werewolves, of course, are well-versed in nunchuck use. Werewolves, I should say. Did I say werewolves? Good heavens. Whoa. It's interesting. Alboth, or not Alboth, that's his Japanese name. Rikuo, in the first game, he's got this crouching punch. I think it's like down-back punch. Maybe you don't have to do the down-back, but or the back. But he's got this punch move that where one of his arms turns into a lobster claw. And I have not seen him do that in other Vampire/Darkstalkers games, so I wonder if that's limited to the first game. Does he not have that lobster claw punch? It's not a special move, it's just a normal attack. See, now that's not one of the better character portraits. It's well done and all, but it's a little harder to read and not quite as just not quite as memorable. Maybe they were just having trouble drawing all those teeth and whiskers. And how do you? Oh, he's got his ghost things. Did they do that in the first one, where they actually pull you across the screen? Now, Bishamon's stage in this game is so bizarre. And it's even hard to tell what's going on. You're inside this crazy ramshackle house. This is not all that ramshackle, except over here. Right over here it feels ramshackle, like something weird is going on. What's that on the wall? I can't even tell. It doesn't help that there's this tea kettle in the foreground. Man, it's really shooting its ghosts at me. That didn't happen in the first game. Oh. Stop possessing me. Oh, shoot. It's got a lot more. Oh, so many of these characters. There's so many more moves. Oh. well, there's ghosts. Ah, he just won't let up with that. Ugh. Oh, God. See, so it turns out that it was his dog. His dancing dog was what was under the, whatever that is, blanket, or I don't know. It's just a bizarre stage. It's kind of hard to tell what all that stuff in the middle is. That's pretty cool. Talbain is a little too, especially in this game where everybody is kind of amped up and he's kind of amped up, he's a little frenetic for me. The way he'll just start zipping around with his energy bolt transformation and stuff, I have a hard time feeling like I'm really in control of him. I do like the nunchucks, but again, I don't really. He just whips them out and starts swinging. I don't know what I don't feel like I'm doing that necessarily. And I'm not. I'm mashing buttons, but that's my problem. Let's do. Did I just do heavy punch? Or let's do heavy punch. That's not my favorite color, but whatever. Kind of doing a. What would you call that dance? Kind of a chill out, like surfing motion with his arms. Like, yeah, man, hang 10, surfs up. He is Australian. I guess that could work. Oh, he's got this little creature with him now. She's got a puppy. Where did my little creature go? I want him back. I wonder if I can get him to come out. I wonder if he comes out in Dark Forces mode. No, I just get super glam rock star mode. Okay. Oh, jeez. Ugh. Oh man, nuked. Oh, what the? You. Wow. Man, she is just pulling out all kinds of arsenals on me. Arsenals. There he is. What the heck? I mean, he looks very familiar. What the heck kind of creature is that supposed to be? But I mean, I guess B.B.Hood is pretty much a Swiss Army knife character as well, with all her weapons and stuff. And so is L.Rapter here, really. And pulls out a chainsaw, his rib cage, and it's all kind of grotesque. Where his bones turn into blades, and these ghouls in their leg chainsaws. Figure out, well, there was an EX move, I guess. Oh, I think that was a super. That was quarter circle back times 2 and 2 punch buttons. Oh, something was happening. Dang it. There's a huge mouth came on the ground. Side switch me. Ah. Whatever it is, it's a tough one to do because it's so delayed. Whoa, there's the huge hand I was thinking of. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get that giant mouth to actually get him. Oh, there's the big mouth. I don't know. Big belly button. That's crazy. this is the first time I've actually got to her stage so far. I love this stage. I mean, it is the same, more or less, as the first game version, except the colors are different. Now it's more purple instead of red like it was in the first game. I'm sure a lot of little details are different. Ow. Yeah, I don't know how to use that. It just seems to whiff really quickly. So they have to be standing at a very specific... Oh! Just teleport, I guess. Well, I'm not finding another super. Oh, there was something. Is that an EX uppercut, I wonder? Ow! There was that again. That might be an EX move, actually. Like a EX uppercut. Oh, just when we both activated, so we're both in our modes. Wow, I didn't realize you could do that. I was glam rocking and she was mirror imaged. Can you do that at any time? Or do you have to activate it at the same exact time? Like, can she just activate anytime she wants if she had a charge while we were in there? Oh. Oh, I forgot that's a greaser. Oof. Yeah, Morrigan is no small potatoes. Yeah, give me a hint. Yeah, I'm not super keen on Raptor. I mean, he's also just kind of gross. I do like that cute little sidekick he has in this game, though. I want to see more of that guy. Let's do medium kick Morrigan. Actually, can I use start button? No. Select button? No. Oh, select button is for doing alternate versions. So let's do medium kick. Why is there a 1 on her? Why is there a 1 on? Oh, that's player 1. I see. Okay, medium kick Morrigan. Okay, green hair. That is some neon green hair. Seems like B.B.Hood comes up in the first stage a lot. This is another example of a stage that is pretty low-key. Not a lot of animation. Muted colors. Really, thematically, it's kind of a downer, too. It's just this, like, war-wrecked street. It's well drawn and everything. Really well drawn, really, when you get right down to it. And that's her EX fireball, or maybe it's a super fireball, I don't know. That's her EX uppercut. That was the one I was thinking of earlier that really shoots out. What do you do? I know she's got that thing where, like, she jets across the screen. Do any moves. I already know what her Dark Forces thing is. She doubles up mirror images. Can't do that very well. Man, air fireballs whenever she wants. figure out how to do her other super or supers if she has them. Actually, I think she's got... Doesn't she have one? Yeah, she does have one. I saw it in this. It wasn't as noticeable as it is in Marvel vs. Capcom, but she does, like, shoot guns. Oh. I like the colors in the wind portrait. They really make her face stand out with that neon green around it. Oh, QB, you're such a weirdo. And QB has appealing to you know, the fandom because she doesn't have pupils. I think that's a key thing. I'm not really sure what her stage represents, you know? Like, there's a lady on the ship, there's these other ladies in kind of these gossamer outfits, but I shouldn't say ladies, let's just call them women, but I don't know what that's all about. Actually, wait a second, QB is sometimes on the merman stage with the honey, the big flowers, and the snail eating a fish. But she's also on this stage sometimes. So does she just not really have her own stage? Because this is Hsien-Ko's. I don't know how to pronounce her name right. That other woman's stage. Oh. The Chinese character's stage. Oh. See now, Victor, for instance. Well, actually, this I tend to think of more as L.Rapter's stage. So I don't know what's going on, man. It's so much easier in Darkstalkers 1 where everybody has their own definitely individual stage. Oh. I'm trying to figure out her other supers. I love how his head expands. That EX headbutt. There it is. So I think you have to do it in air, and it felt like maybe quarter circle back times 2 and 2 buttons. That might not all be necessary. Yeah, just 1 quarter circle back. Okay. 2, maybe. Well, I hit 2 buttons, but it might only take 1 button for all I know, but I'm kind of surprised that it's not a double quarter circle motion. Let me try quarter circle back 1 button. Yeah, quarter circle back 1 button. Well, supers are way easier to do than I thought, and actually, that means I won't risk accidentally doing EX moves trying to do them, because for an EX move, you have to hit 2 buttons. So I've just been doing things overly complicated and messy way. So that's surprising, actually. So super is just 1 motion plus 1 button? Man. Whoa. Well, that's not politically correct. And Sasquatch is on this stage. He doesn't have his own snowy stage? He doesn't have a snowy stage? I guess he doesn't. I can't think of one. I was thinking, well, did they just cut it out for this version? They didn't have enough room, but that doesn't make sense for one thing. And also, I don't remember ever seeing a snowy stage for him in any arcade version of Vampire Savior that I've watched him play. Oh, see, I don't know how to do that. It probably has different ranges depending on what button you activate it with, too. Oh, no. Oh. I'm getting stomped, literally. So how do I do... dang it. How do I do her gun super? think how you would do that with just one motion, not in air. One motion, one button. 2 buttons. And the fireball motion gets you the EX fireball. 3 buttons. Oop. I do love her kicks. Her kicks are really good. Well animated. Oop. Of course, she's just really well animated. Wow. It's funny because, you know, it's this sprite, or the CPS2 sprite, perhaps. Well, actually, it is a converted resolution sprite of Morrigan that's in Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because those were on... oh wait, Marvel vs. Capcom must have been on CPS2 or something, wasn't it? But Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was on the Naomi, and that didn't have the weird resolution issue, so they had to convert those pixels for Morrigan's sprite in that game. And people complained forever that her sprite in that game is so much chunkier and old and crummy looking than a lot of the other characters. But it's basically this sprite, probably. Which, I don't know, here looks pretty good as far as I'm concerned. Alright, well, so that's the top row. Oh, man. Oh, so I really want to... Okay, I might not finish this out. Or I might just die really fast anyway. I just can't really handle slow characters. I mean, he's just got, you know, he does have these huge attacks, but I just not what I want to do in a fighting game. Oh, Lilith shares this stage. Okay. This is one of the more colorful stages. They basically just converted it really directly from the previous game. And it's definitely busier feeling visually. Kind of harder to see the characters. So let's see what his... Oh, he splits in half. Oh, it's so because I'm steering the top one. Oh man, I don't like that. It's too... I'm not smart enough to be in 2 places at once. Oh, I turned her into a little bat. That's awesome. Can he do that to everybody? Does everybody turn into something different? So how did I do that? I was like in air. Whoa, that's awesome. Wow. I went full on gold for that. And I think I just did quarter circle forward and 2 punches in air. It must have been... Yeah, I was in air, and you must need to have a supercharge. Well, now I have something I want to do with it. Oh, come on, get up higher. Ah, I don't think that was it. I think that was just his... No, I'm thinking of... Ghosts I was thinking of that grab people are Bishamon, so maybe it was it. Oh, he's too fast. Dang it. Oh, he turns into a wiener dog. Oh, that's the best. So he changes people into little cutesy or not so cutesy animals. Oh man, I had no idea he had a super like that. Well, I like Anakaris, so I'm not going to go very long here. I like Anakaris a lot more now. That doesn't mean I can actually fight with him. Doesn't mean I really want to fight with him. I just want to see him transform everybody. So I should probably just do that in training mode sometime. I'm sure somebody's made a video that all of Anakaris' super transformations of the rest of the characters. Well, yeah, because I'm not going to get them all done anytime soon. I don't think I want to play them anymore. Whatever that meant exactly. I mean, I guess you get taken over by the werewolf persona? Is that what he means? Man, so the first game only had 10 characters. This one has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wait, 7 plus that's 12, 15, 18 normal, and then there's alternate versions. The first game has 10 characters you can pick from, and that's it. Oh, Baby Bonnie is what BB stands for. Alright, let's do medium punch. Oh, that is a bright blue hood. I don't know, the whole cutesy girl with vicious guns thing doesn't really excite me. I wish I could figure out what is going on in this house, though. I mean, so now I kind of knew it was the dog under the blanket. Of course, B.B.Hood has her own little dog, a much more cartoonish looking dog. She is very fast. Oh no. That was quarter circle forward and 2 buttons. So some supers are 2 buttons. Oh wow, so nothing. He stands there blocking and doesn't get hit at all. That might have been an EX move. Yeah, it was an EX move. There's a quarter circle back punch. Whoops. Wait a second. My wall heater went on. I have it on a low setting. It's just getting super cold tonight. This microphone's range is low enough that I don't think it picks up the whirring sound from that heater, but just in case. Okay, I should have paused the recording. I'm such a hack. I can't talk so much about my wall heater, I guess. I do like how fast and fluid she is. I'm sitting at the wrong range from my microphone now that I got up and sat back down. Oh, what's happening? Why was my dog cowering in fear? That's kind of weird. My dog was kind of cowering in fear when she won. What was that all about? Does she mistreat her dog? Oh, cats and dogs. Oh, there was a whispering. It sounded like somebody was whispering. Was that the music? Oh man, her throw animation. That was crazy. Hey. Oh. Huh, so that doesn't hit low? Is that, or even standing? I have to jump into it? I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I haven't looked at her. She Blows everything up. Oh wow, nice. Jeez. No, I don't like B.B.Hood much either. Felicia. Yeah, that is just not getting it done. It looks huge, but oh, she's got a double jump. Oh, okay. She's got an air super of some kind. There's that. Somehow she does a... Well, there's the EX version of that, but what the heck button was that in the first place? Oh, that was something. I think that was like quarter circle forward and 2 kicks, but... I think that would just normally be an EX. Oh no, that isn't. Quarter circle forward and 2 kicks. Well, I don't like playing BB.Hood. Not into vicious little girl characters. Oh, that's hilarious. It's not my thing. Cutesy little girls, ghouls, mummies. I'm such a picky person when it comes to monsters, apparently. Well, I was gonna say, next we got the bee woman. See how I do with this. Heavy punch. Whoa. It's quite the portrait of Demitri. See, this is a lot like his Darkstalkers 1 stage. It's the same room, obviously, but then really redrawn and relit. And the women, whereas in the first game, there are these sort of beautiful young women in gowns walking around fanning themselves. Now we've got this woman in this large dress over here with this elaborate wig and so forth. Got a little kid in a devil costume on the stairs. Still got the bat or something in the cage swinging back and forth. This woman here has a fancy bald mask. I don't know people actually dancing in masks over here, so it's like a masquerade ball. Fancy Demitri. What is that? She's got a... Oh! Wow. That is gross. It's kind of like those... he transformed... He did his Midnight Bliss on me, and he turned me in... But I looked like a female nurse. That's weird. Yeah, way to go, Demitri. Sure, I guess that's just an EX throw. She's got a weird character. Oh. That's quarter circle back kick. She's got a giant fork and knife. She's ready to eat. Ready to eat big. I don't really understand. I don't really understand a lot of what QB's doing here. How many eyes does she have exactly anyway? I mean, I guess a bee is supposed to have a big compound eye, but then she's got a tiny compound eye, set of eyes on a more human type face. Maybe the top eye is fake. She's kind of a Swiss Army knife too. Like she'll just pop out big spines out of every other place. Oh, that was quarter circle forward times 2 and punch. I hit 2 punches actually. Quarter circle forward times 2 does that honeycomb. With 1 punch button does that honeycomb attack. Heavy punch at least. But times 2 quarter circle forward does that big honey glob. 2 buttons. I don't know how to make it hit. Ah, she made that hit. Maybe I have to hit a different... Oh, I don't know. Oh, that was quarter circle forward 2 kicks. Quarter circle forward times 2 kicks. Okay, so Dark Forces, I guess you can activate. I hit heavy punch and heavy kick, so it's probably just 2 matching punch and kick buttons. Whoa. So she's just hungry all the time, I guess. She just wants to eat everything. It's funny too because her wind pose and that portrait, all of her art looks a little cutesier than her basic character sprite does. Her character sprite doesn't quite have the same doll-like face. You can't tell. It's weird. So her quarter circle forward is a lunging command throw. So see, that's the super I want to figure out how to do. That's her quarter circle forward is lunging command throw. Her uppercut is that. And then quarter circle forward times 2 is the honeycomb thing. I wish I could make the bee shoot harder. And quarter circle forward times 2 buttons is the honey glob, which I can't seem to hit. Get her, honey glob. Ah, she just turtled. Oh, that was good. Oh, the honey glob didn't come back that time. Whoa. Oh, she can do the lunging grab in air. Cutie, you're so weird. Like, why is she so big on this? Oof. And that's 2 kicks. I don't have an energy chart. Oh, jeez. Close. Yeah, Cutie's tough. I mean, she's got all these tricky ranges and arcs and things. Not straightforward. And I really prominently placed command throw, which is really strange for a character, especially for a character who doesn't seem like a grappler. I got her with the honey glob, but what does that do? Does it just do how much? I didn't even notice how much damage it did. It didn't feel like it did a ton. Yeah, get her bees. Whoa, okay, so that's pretty sweet. So that is an in-air super, I guess. Again, it's hard to hit with because it's sort of a short arc. And arc down and then back up. But if it does hit, it seems to be pretty effective. Man, Bishamon stage, I just don't know. I love this stage in the first game because it's just got all these cute animals just having a ball. There's a chicken running around, and it's got a little baby chicken with it. There's a cow just kind of hanging out. There's this dog who's just sitting there dancing the whole time. There's this crazy. It's not animated, so it's kind of everything else is so animated. But there's a thing that looks like like a dog with a human head, a human face. It's really freaky. It's one of the freakiest things I've seen in a fighting game. And it's just sitting there kind of frozen next to an igloo because he's in this snowy stage. And it's hard to tell if it's supposed to be like a living creature or what. It's just, I mean, the mystery makes it even more hideous to contemplate. Whoa, that was quite the dash. I'm not sure I like QB that much. I don't feel like I have a grasp on what she's supposed to, what her concept is exactly. For her moveset, that is. I mean, obviously she's a B-girl. Oh yeah, she does have that. Wow! That was a lot of chopping. I don't think I realized he'd already knocked me down once. Well, that was... oof. I don't know. I don't know what to do with QB. He's got all these weird arcs, and it kind of feels like they made her difficult to use on purpose, which is not a school of design I can say I like. Like, why would I use her when I could just use Victor, who just loves punching things with gigantic meat hooks, you know? I mean... that ain't hard. And then if you want to get into hard stuff, he does, like, you know, his butt clench throw or something. That's, you know, it's advanced. But, yeah, I don't know about her. Now, Lilith I just always like, probably just because she's cute. Let's do heavy punch. Oh, I'm getting a lot of orange. Kind of good, though. Halloween-y, pumpkin-y. Flexing. Yeah, I probably just like Lilith because she was cute and not as overpoweringly feminine as Morrigan, who probably intimidated me. And she shows up naked. So yeah. But what can I say? I still like Lilith. She's also just fun to play. She's fast. She's not the obvious sort of Shoto clone that Morrigan is. She's a little different. Not a lot different. Okay, so let's see. Her dark forces. Oh, she's got a trailing clone. She's also just got all these really wacky animations. She's also got this really strange super that I kind of learned how to do at one point in the Vampire Darkstalkers. Or no, I was actually playing the PS3 version, which is an arcade perfect version, but it's got the flashing red victory screen or the kill screen, so I can't play that version. I should try some. And that super is a complicated one where it's like 2 buttons, a direction, and then 2 other buttons. So there's no way I'm going to stumble on that accidentally unless... wow, he's just full steam ahead. That's not good. Just doing EX moves. But she like puts, I think that's the one where she puts the opponent in a puppet show, and they become this little puppet acting out on a little like puppeteer's, little portable stage. It's such a bizarre. Or is that the one? No wait. Or is it different? Like she's making them kind of dance. It's like a dance revolution games. I don't know, something really weird. Maybe that's two separate ones. Maybe two different characters. I can't remember. But also, she's just really fun to play. Just her normal buttons. I mean, it's very fluid. Ah, that's a throw. I mean, just the animations are so fun. Really got creative with her. I guess maybe because she's kind of a Morrigan clone, so they had to differentiate her. Not sure what. Well, there is a Lilligan version, and I think there's a Lilligan in either Marvel vs. Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where it's Morrigan sprite, but with sort of a Lilith moveset. I'm not sure what the whole point of that is either. I don't really understand anything. Kawaii? She's just saying kawaii, like, cute or something? And she's saying, do you find my outfit cute? So no, she must do the puppeteer super, because she's referring to puppets there. That must be it, right? Here's Hsien-Ko. I don't know how you pronounce her name. Really bad. What was that disappeared? I thought it was just one of the women in the background, but... Hey. I mean, Hsien-Ko is such a pocket knife character, too. This, this is all reflective of the fact that they were having trouble. How do you follow up the iconic movie monsters? I mean, Lilith was kind of a cop-out, right? Because they just cloned Morrigan and made her more jail baby looking, basically. And yet she's my favorite character, so I don't know what that says about me. So probably nothing good. I can't figure out a super with her either. It's distressing me. I'm never gonna get that puppeteer one since the input is so whacked out. So maybe I should just give up. Also, not sure what her EX Fireball does. It's just damage, or... Dang it. Ugh. Ugh. There are some pretty good win quotes. I also forget what the story for her is. Like, it's, she's kind of like half-sister of Morrigan or something. Jeez. That's her EX uppercut. Instead of animating like Morrigan's, it just repeats. Shoot, not the ghost thing again. I'm not sure I like this Bishamon. I like the Bishamon in the first game more. He just chops you in half. I was thinking, I'm gonna have to get the Japanese version of this game because, yeah, there is some blood, but you notice the blood is white. But, I don't really miss red blood. Anyway, white is easier on the eyes than red. It's funny because the red and the blood in the first game was not color changed, although sometimes it looks kind of orange. Wow, another outfit. Go dog. So he pops out and dances whether or not his master wins. Maybe it's not even... Maybe Bishamon doesn't even own him. He just crashes there. I was so distracted I didn't read that whole Wing quote. Something about your blood. What is that stripe on the side of Victor's face? That golden stripe. It's just makeup or a mask? Oh, I guess it's just supposed to be like a scene? Ouch. Wish I knew how to do that move with him. That massive fist. Wow. Oh, bombers. That's cool. He's just too strong. Oh. I'm not sure what that... I don't know if that's... EX Fireball of hers is just supposed to be kind of a weak move. Let's see what the EX version of that move is. There we go. Didn't manage to connect with it. Ew. I mean, I guess I like... One thing I liked about Lilith's moves is that she... I mean, her fireball is so short range. It's kind of a joke fireball, so she can't... She's not a Shoto clone like Morrigan pretty much is. She can't just fireball away. She's got to get in and mix it up, it seems like. That's how I always felt I had to fight with her, which is what I want to do. I really just wish I could find a good super with her at the moment, though. Oh no, well... Wow. Well, I did not find a good super. If I'm gonna play her, I'll have to end up looking up at least that one super. Yeah, there is not really much slowdown to speak of. I can't say I've run into any feeling of slowdown in this game so far. That's the main change, really, in terms of execution from the first game on PS1. And just no super noticeable dropped animation frames. I mean, they must be there everywhere, but it's done in a more balanced way where you don't notice it. Oh yeah, that move is almost not animating at all. Sasquatch, let's do light kick. Oh, okay. It's got a sand or dust-colored Sasquatch. Is Raptor's name spelled with an E or an O in the first game? I kind of thought it was spelled with an O in the first game, Raptor, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. That was a little sidekick creature. I want to see more of that guy. Okay, so I gotta figure out what his Bigfoot move is. He doesn't... I couldn't find it in the first game. Okay, no, it was that. Yeah, it was in the first game. I guess that's just what it is. So that's... Must be 2 buttons in quarter circle forward? No. This is quarter circle forward times 2 and 2 buttons, or quarter circle... Yeah, oh, okay. So it's... Oh, wait. Maybe it's just... Oh, it's just uppercut motion kick. Oh, well, okay. That's... So then you can exit if you want and turn into that huge thing. Hey, Snowman. Whoa. Okay. Wow. I guess I didn't expect that because it doesn't feel like an uppercut move. But I guess it's wide enough that it probably could be used as an anti-air to some extent. Oh no! Mummified me and turned me skinny. He's also got that like beam. That's just quarter circle forward and 2 buttons. Whereas that is just quarter circle forward. It's where he freezes people. Oh shoot! Oh no, he caught me right as I was doing my super breath. Oh, how did he get over that? Oh, it's even back? Right. Oh. How did I do that wind up? Dang, he keeps knocking me out of that. This is so his character. How does he keep... Ugh. Shit, he did it again. Ah! Wow. Well, there was a lot of experimenting and not a lot of actually hitting Anakaris, who kept knocking me out of every super I tried to do. I love that victory screen. So that was not that good. I may just not be that good with Sasquatch. That wouldn't really surprise me. He's sort of... I feel like he's a little tricky to use because he's kind of a small guy actually, and so you have to know what attacks or what EX attacks have a longer range. At least that's maybe part of the problem I'm having. Or I'm just not good. That's probably the simple answer. I'm just not good. Well, here's old Bishamon. Let's do heavy punch. Oh, that's different. Oh, I didn't look at Sasquatch's dark forces, did I? Oh, well. Good. Wow. I didn't really... Bishamon was one of the, I think, just 2 characters that I didn't really feel like I got in the first game. Let's see his dark forces. He was flashing. Not sure what that signifies. And I think I'm not gonna... Like, in the first game, he still had the spirits, but it didn't... I don't think they did quite the same thing. They weren't as obvious that they would go control people anyway. I don't know. I don't think I like that mechanic really. I don't really want to be like controlling people, and I definitely hate getting controlled. And every time I try to... How do I then attack? Because it seemed like he was frozen. I hit her with my ghost. And then what do I do? Does that just hurt her a little? There must be some other intent I'm supposed to be doing there. That's a heck of a fireball. That was like the 2-button version of the fireball motion. Instead of getting ghosts, you get... Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this whole ghost slinging thing. Seems like they made him a more complicated character. Now he's this sort of manipulating character. And I don't understand how that works at all. Although he did that huge sword slash combo on me. It was just like one sword slash, one low crouching slash with a super long range that went on straight horizontal and just lasted forever. How do you do that? Oh, that was like quarter circle forward times two kick buttons. Yeesh, the flashing. Flashing was not fun. See, I don't know what to do there. I can't move. Is it just meant to annoy your opponent? Jeez. I don't know about that. Don't murder Lilith. Well, I guess I gotta go all murdery on you. Your white blood. Real jets of blood. Milk. Jets of blood milk. Uh-oh. So, I guess I could get the Japanese version, the Japanese PS2, and that would have red blood, but I don't care. It's probably better not having the gore and the red flashes from these huge spouts. So I'm basically just slashing like a maniac, since I don't really like the whole ghost business. I'll just slash like a maniac. And I can use... I still don't understand what I'm supposed to... whoa! How do I do... Is that just an uppercut? Fireworks. Huh? Bishamon? Green screen. I should pay attention to what Sasquatch does, because I was obviously not playing Sasquatch right. He's bouncing. Oh, he's throwing. Does this game have throw techs? Oh. There is a big slash. How did I... Oh, he's a charge character. That's right, I forgot. So it's just an EX charge move. That's why I decided I was not going to be into Bishamon. Just do a huge EX charge slash. Just got a down and up charge move. Oh man, Sasquatch. You're not gonna let me sit there charging. Aye! Oh no! Wow, he used me as a sled. That's awesome. Well, it put me out of my misery. So I learned I'm a charge character and I was suddenly much less enthusiastic. I was having fun when I was just slashing away like a maniac, but then once I figured I should start charging, it was like Summer Sasquatch. Alright, well, yeah, I forgot Bishamon was a charge character. I played him as long ago as yesterday, and I figured that out right at the end of there. And same thing here. Maybe it's not coincidence that it happens at the end. Maybe it's not coincidence that I die as soon as I figure out he's a charge character. I just can't stand to live as a charge character. Well, here goes this. Heavy kick. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I didn't look at Bishamon's Dark Forces, did I? I can't remember. Oh, that green. And the thing with Hsien-Ko is her moves are just so fluid. I feel like I'm effective with her, but I have no idea what I'm doing. She's got time bombs. Jeez. Get her bomb. whole gong thing. Oh, so she's got this assistant person. I don't know what's going on, man. She's got this little creature, this little yellow blob on her shoulder. What is that guy? Is that little ticket that's kind of on her hat? Did that come to life? Man, I feel like there's some severe cultural ignorance on my part. I don't understand Hsien-Ko very much. How she rolls her head. Yeep. And again, you know, how do we follow up the Universal Monster characters? Well, let's have a Chinese woman with big metal claws, and she swings from chains, and her claw hands turn into chains, and she throws bombs. Wiped out. Yeah, she is definitely an almost literal Swiss Army knife character. Of course, not literal at all, but oh wow. I don't even know what I'm doing. I kind of feel like this might be a reason why Darkstalkers always struggled to get a big following, at least as big as some of Capcom's other games. Because you've got really kind of mind-boggling characters like this. Like, everybody can understand, well, the Frankenstein, who I keep coming back to, or even an abominable snowman, but yeah, that was bad. That's awesome. Yeah, that was bad. I definitely don't get Hsien-Ko. No idea. Don't really want to know. I don't want to be doing bombs and swinging from chains. So basically I'm not a big fan of a lot of the new characters, except like Lilith kind of makes up for it all. Like Lilith is basically my favorite character. Go. Heavy punch. Oh man. Kind of a cool color. I'm trying to figure out what I would call this color. It's almost a sherbet type of color. Sherbety. So surf in. Now does he have the lobster claw? Oh, there it is. See? That's down back punch. I never really noticed that before. Yesterday in the first game. I think it might just be because I noticed it was because the way that the first game kind of has trouble with frame cuts and stuff. They really pause on this very noticeable claw thing. Whereas here it's really kind of hard to see. Probably doesn't help this particular color scheme I'm at. Also kind of blends with the background on the stage. Kiro. Oh! Those 2 buttons and quarter circle forward? I just lobster clawed her too fast. I love the fireworks. It's a good sound effect for the fireworks. No, I don't feel good. Oh man, it's gonna get weird. Yeah, it does feel like they just kind of went weirder and weirder. She comes out of a honey pot. So most of this stuff he had in the first game. It's all little tweaked. do this big tile? There we go. That's just quarter circle forward and 2 buttons. Oh, that's nice and simple. Whoa. That's a uppercut motion kick. That's weird. I don't know if we had that in the first game. EX finish. I could have sworn that was more like a super. Maybe, I guess they just don't distinguish. Yeah, that is a nasty super or EX or whatever you want to call it. Covers the whole screen. Whoops, I'm not sure. I thought I was trying to do the... Yee, that's kind of nasty too. How do you do that? Don't know what that means. The great energy of water. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna skip out. There's too many, I feel like there's too many secret characters to try as well. I'm getting tired. It's late. And I don't really like playing Rikuo that much. I kind of did in the first game, but it's just there was a different feeling. You really had to rely. I felt like I had to rely on these certain kicks of his, which were kind of fun to have to do. Oh boy, it's another Swiss Army knife character. What a shot. Well, fine. Heavy kick. Oh, I don't know about this color. Alright. Yeah, a lot of these characters I just don't feel in tune with in this game. It's unfortunate. I probably don't mind fighting them so much, but actually playing them... Good. Yeah, especially I think the animation cuts hurt this character because he's so all over the place. It becomes kind of hard to tell, wow, what he's doing. Now, wasn't he a boss in some game or maybe a sub-boss? Jeez, I'm just doing like quarter circle forward and 2 punches. Oh, jeez. Okay. She actually blocked that pretty well, or I did it poorly anyway. Yeah, he's just another Swiss Army knife character. Seems like a little overpowered with all these beam attacks. I mean, he's got a freezing ray. It seems like he just stole Sasquatch's freeze ray. But if he was a boss, that would sort of make sense. Bosses tend to steal moves, right? Also wonder what the heck his name is supposed to mean. Oh, well, that was awesome. It's a transformer. It's an Autobot. Like an ancient Aztec Autobot or something. She'll do big attacks, why wouldn't you? Have beam, oh, that's not even a super. You can just do that. It's quarter circle forward plus punch. Why do anything else? It's quarter circle forward and 2 buttons. Hey! Speed girl off me. Ow! Man, she's all over me. Jeez. Wow, that command throw of hers. It's quarter circle back and 2 buttons. Oh, she stabbed me out of my super attack. Oh! I won. Dang. Alright. You just end with a colon? Like I'm just an animated piece of pottery with this color. And also kind of the way he's rendered. Kind of like the one where he like shoots machine guns and he looks like a Gundam type robot. Oh, I did that though. You know what? It's not interesting variety there, but I don't know, not doing it for me. I mean, he does feel like more of a boss character, just like an annoying, transforming every attack as a powerful beam cannon boss character. And Pyron, of course, was definitely a boss character. Let's do like, wait a second, he didn't change color. What? They skimp on the colors for Pyron? Tower of Arrogance. I hit the wrong button? I don't know. Tower of Arrogance is a pretty good name for a stage. Oh, he's so flashy. This is just bringing back bad flashbacks of having to fight Pyron. What was I just playing? Oh, he's the boss in SNK vs. Capcom. No, not SNK vs. Capcom. What am I saying? In Capcom Fighting Evolution. Actually, and if you're listening now, you'll get this little teaser. There, that move. That was a cool move. Cool animation or drawing that I like with Huitzil. But I bought the Japanese version off of eBay, used version off eBay, of Capcom Fighting Evolution, which is called Capcom Fighting Jam, because there are no pause screen move lists. It's a PS2 game, and kind of a late PS2 game, but there are no in-game, oh, that's the very weirdly color strobing attack that they're trying to do in Capcom Fighting Evolution. Where he's the boss, Pyron. I mean, there are no in-game move lists, and yet I often don't really miss in-game move lists that much because then I don't spend all my time looking at them, which I annoy myself by having to look everything up if they're there. But in Capcom Fighting Evolution, it's all these characters from different games and different fighting systems, and they kind of preserve their fighting systems, so it's kind of confusing figuring out what moves they have. So that's one game where I feel like I really do want to look at the move list, but it doesn't have them in the game itself. And then I found out there was a Brady Games printed, deluxe. They made these really deluxe, glossy, paper, thick fighting game guides, or game guides for all kinds of games. But, for instance, Brady Games did the printed official game guide for Capcom's Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, and that was in the US, of course, and part of the deal that they struck apparently was that if we're going to do the game guide, you have to take the in-game move list out because Street Fighter Alpha Anthology had move lists in the game when you pause from the pause screen menu in the Japanese version, and then they came out in the US and it did not have. They stripped the move list out for the US version because Brady Games wanted players to have to buy their printed guidebook that had the move list printed in it. So that was a scummy thing to do. But I found out Brady Games made a guide for not feeling Pyron, needless to say. Made a huge print guide thing for, I don't know if it's huge, but it probably is, for Capcom Fighting Evolution, or Capcom Fighting Jam as it's known in Japan. So I thought, wait, is that why it doesn't have in-game move lists in the American version? Because they had a Brady Games deal, and Brady Games made them take the move lists out, or that was part of the deal anyway. So I thought, well, I'll get the Japanese version and take a look, because I couldn't find out by Googling. That's like an alternate intro, I think. Anyway, it probably starts flashing graphics at some point. So you can look it up online if you really want to see it. Probably on YouTube somewhere. Now Donovan, I don't think was a boss. I don't remember what the deal was, how he was injured. I think he first came along as Vampire Hunter, I think. And he was kind of going to be the new character rather than Demitri. It kind of felt like to me, but that might not be right. Let's do a heavy kick. Whoa, wow. Kind of a bold color choice there. So, yeah, Capcom Evolution, I thought, well, I'll get the Japanese version, Capcom Fighting Jam, and see if that has in-game move lists. So I got it. It was like $24, buy it now off eBay, which seemed reasonable. In retrospect, I would rather have that $24 back because, although it does have the disc art is much cooler, and I like the name Capcom Fighting Jam way more than Capcom Fighting Evolution, but it does not have in-game move lists. So that game just never had in-game move lists. I guess Capcom just didn't bother. Like they had a feeling they weren't going to sell that much of it, and they're like, well, don't bother doing this. Nobody's going to care. I care. So Donovan is this weird guy who kind of has this spirit, living giant sword. He's got all kinds of spirits, I guess. Look at that. And he's supposed to be probably some kind of monster hunter. Whoa. I wish I had been in range for that. That might have been cool. Ow. Jeez. I don't really want to be in range of Bishamon. Jeez, he's gonna just slice the tar out of me. His sword is just kind of doing extra attacks. Does his sword have a mouth on it? Yeah, he's a hunter. That's why the game he appears in first is called Vampire Hunter. So yeah, that was disappointing. No moveless even in the Japanese version. Capcom Fighting Jam, and all the win quotes are in Japanese. There's no English option for that, which is so it's not really the version I would want to play. But the one thing that was a little interesting about it was that at least one of the characters from Red Earth, actually two of the characters from Red Earth, have different names in the Japanese version, which I did not expect, and they're kind of funky names. So that's something, I guess. I'll probably record an episode of that just for the heck of it. I wanted to do more Capcom Fighting Evolution anyway, and now I can call it Capcom Fighting Jam, at least as long as I play the Japanese version, but you can't see the win quotes, so I probably won't play it that much, but I'll play at least once. There's some slowdown going on here. I blame Pyron. These stupid boss animations. Man. Wait, why did I get Pyron anyway? Is he a boss? I didn't get it with anybody else. Oh, shoot. Oh. There, that's the one I really wanted. That was cool. These are all like quarter circle forward or quarter circle forward times 2 and punches. Jeez, calm down, Pyron. I don't know what I was doing there. That was like back. Quarter circle back times 2 kicks. Oh, this is gonna pin me down. Okay, well, whatever. Be a jerk. Donovan I actually kind of like. I don't. Yeah, his sword does have a huge mouth. I don't super feel like I know what I'm doing. But he's still pretty fun to use. He's just this huge sword is just whipping around. I love that. That's basically basic enough for me to appreciate. Just gonna surf on my big sword. I did record like a playthrough of. Was it D I'm thinking of? That's what I was thinking of earlier, because oh, he transformed me, yes! Thank you, sir. Changed me into my girl form. That's at least 2 Midnight Blisses that the AI has hit me with. That's awesome. There's an alternate version of Donovan. Maybe it's in one of the, like, Vampire Hunter 2. It's probably Vampire Hunter 2, I guess, but maybe it's Savior 2, I don't know. That I think is called D, and is he the one who's kind of a, well, here's Demitri, so is he the one who, is it D's kind of a, oh, he tried to do it again, a blend of Demitri and Donovan? Was that what the deal was? I don't know, there's something crazy that goes on. Yeah. I mean, Donovan is he's just got offense coming out all over the place, but he doesn't. It's all with just one big sword. It's not like he's popping out weapons out of different orifices. That's the kind of thing that annoys me. As long as he's just using one big sword, I feel a lot better about that. I guess it's silly, but that's how I feel. Dramatic hat entrance. Kind of feels like a Capcom made a fighting game, a 2D fighting game for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It was a licensed fighting game. I had it on Dreamcast. I didn't... Oh, cool. So that's one of the things you can do with this little sidekick. I had JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Maybe it was... There were two. They made two, actually. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure... Oh, shoot. Okay, hang on a second. So that's my alarm for staying up way past my bedtime. It's not good. I need more sleep. It's not helping me. But, you know, what am I going to do? Not play all the characters as I play this game for the first time in 2 years? Actually, well, it might have not been that long, but I never did go through all the characters in this version, I don't think. Oh, that's really flashy. Yeah. So what does that do? Is the sword gonna... Whoa, what's the sword doing? Oh, now it's just music. Oh, I guess it just gives me different attacks. But it seems like I lose a lot of offense doing that. Well... Okay, so was that... Yeah, that was the standard list, but... Okay, so there's a Darkstalkers version of Rikuo. Highlight Rikuo on the select screen. I'm just reading game facts. Hold select and press any button. Okay. Just do light punch. So this is supposed to be the Darkstalkers version of Rikuo, or the first game version. If I held select correctly. So presumably that just means he has less attacks. More or less. Yeah, it does feel like it. He just has the frog legs, he's got the lobster claw. Oh, he still has the dark forces. Oh, did I forget to do it with... I think I did. So... It probably just changes his normal attacks. I think I do kind of like this version more. He feels more direct. And he's still got his super, which he did not... I don't think he had in the first game. In fact, yeah, he would have had that in the first game. Oh, he's got that move, which I didn't find in the first game. Holy smokes. There's kicks and 2 buttons. Well, so yeah, I think his normal moves are a little different in this quote-unquote Darkstalkers version that you get with holding select. I think that's probably enough of that, though. Let's do the next one in the list on GameFAQs is... Oh, well... Female Marionette Shadow. Female parentheses Marionette Shadow. Marionette usually just means that you copy the form of your opponent. But female Marionette Shadow? At character select screen, highlight the question mark box, which is the random box. Press select 7 times, then press any button. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X. There she is. That's a pretty cool drawing, but yeah, so yeah, it's just the form of the opponent. There was something I had to unlock in Vampire Darkstalkers collection playing as Marionette. That's kind of a cool intro. But yeah, then you just play as the... I like that sort of salmon-y colored opponent Sasquatch. Oh wow, that's cool. Alright, well that's Marionette. She copies the opponent's form. Next one is Image Talbain. What does image mean? Image Talbain. Highlight Talbain, hold select, then press all 3 punch buttons at once. Highlight Talbain, hold select, press all 3 punch buttons at once. Let's hope I get this right. So, hold select, all 3 punch buttons, go! Uh-oh. Well, I managed to pick the wrong speed. This is gonna suck. What would Image Talbain mean? I might have got this wrong. You can map a... Bye-bye. I'm not sure I got it right. It feels slow, but I think that's just because I missed the turbo speed select. This is not helping me. Okay. Try it again. I should maybe try mapping. There is a button you can map to all 3 punch buttons. I wonder if that would even work. Talbain, hold select, 3 punch buttons. No. I don't know. Looks the same. Oh wait, I'm able to do that without any supercharges. I don't think he can do that normally, can he? Yeah, I think that's it. Just that he can spam his do that without needing supercharges. I don't think he can do that normally, can he? Well, I don't know. I tried it twice. That's all I care to invest. Play as Lilligan. Highlight Lilith. Hold select and press any button. Well, that's a nice simple one. Highlight Lilith, press any button. I'm going to press X or the light punch. She looks the same. In theory, she might have attacks more like Morrigan's, like maybe she has a longer range fireball. I don't know. have to go look some of these up. And then there's a male shadow. Alright, I'm gonna look some of these up. Hang on. Okay, so the difference, Lilligan is apparently, she has Morrigan's color palettes, and although my color did not change that I noticed, and voice, I guess. Talbain just has slightly different, or it said like the appearance of one of his moves was different. Maybe it was that flying move. And then there are a couple other that I'll get to that are kind of the same vein, but let's see if we can spot. Is that Morrigan's voice? I guess it is, because she's not making her usual sort of cutesy. No, that did. I think that did sound like Morrigan. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining it now. Yeah, I have no idea, really. Well, so that is maybe Lilligan. I don't know. Next up, we have the male shadow. Jeez, there have to be 2 shadow characters? They went nuts in this. So this time we highlight the question mark box, and we press select 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Button. Oh. Was I on the right box? Well, what it said, yeah, because there's that shadow. Okay, so I remember him from what I had to do in Vampire Darkstalker collection to unlock something. I think his deal is he takes on the form of the person you last fought, so I guess I'll have to go through at least one fight here to see. So in theory, if I beat... So he just took the default character, who's Demitri, for the first fight. But once I beat... Why are my attacks weird? Because I'm weird. Once I beat Lilith here... If I beat Lilith... Yeah, see her voices. Different than that Lilligan. Dang it. I will be a Lilith character in the next fight, in theory. Sweet. Wow. So she turned her into this little kid in pajamas. That's what it kind of looks like. Wow. Sounds like he says, "Come on, baby," which is, what's that from? So here comes a shadow. I gray out. He goes into her. So then... Yeah. So even in the victory portrait, he's already changed. There we are on Lilith. So then if I beat Rikuo, he would also take on that form. So that's kind of fun, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It seems like sort of a strange thing to spend dev time on, but... So that's the male shadow. Next up, we have Memory Restored Victor, and I think this is just a Darkstalkers 2 or something version of Victor. Highlight Victor, hold select, pressing Victor, hold select, pressing light punch. So again, I probably won't know enough. Well, I mean, the one I kind of felt like I felt it with was Rikuo, who I didn't feel quite as at home with in his default Darkstalkers 3 incarnation. I said I was missing the Darkstalkers 1 version, and then I played the Darkstalkers 1 version and it felt more comfortable, but maybe that was just wishful thinking. But so in theory, this is a prior version. It said Darkstalkers 2, which would mean, or at least the FAQ I was reading did, which would mean Vampire Hunter, I guess. And it does feel like he's got less of the crazy attacks, maybe, but I don't know Victor well enough. He does feel a little less crazy animated, maybe. I don't know. He pulled flags out instead of just a regular booger. So that's maybe the hidden older version, which I guess is a nice option since there is no version of 2 on PlayStation 1. Next up, there's only 2 more of these in this list, but I think there's another list, so geez. Night Warriors Talbain, so that would be Talbain. Wait a second. So there's 2 Talbains? So what the heck is... well, then I really don't know what image Talbain is supposed to be. Highlight Talbain, hold select, press all 3 punch buttons together. Wait, that's the same thing. Alright, so this is GamePacks being stupid. This is the same thing, right? Hold select, 3 punch buttons. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that is just an old version of Talbain. Okay. So then there is Bishamon. Where are you at? Highlight Bishamon. This is Hsien-Bishamon, or Oboro. Highlight Bishamon, hold select, press any 2 punch or kick buttons simultaneously. Alternatively, highlight Bishamon, then hold L2, then press any punch or kick. So this, I think, is just supposed to be an older version of Bishamon. Hold select, press any 2 punch or kick buttons. So do light, medium, punch, I guess. Hold and select. Light, medium, punch. Holy smokes. That's a color. So now, in theory, this, he's got less of the ghost... Well, wait, it's either an older version or it said something about his ghost powers. This is either an old version that doesn't have all of the ghost powers. Oh, that's a different intro. So it's definitely different. Yeah, he doesn't have the ghost flying around him. So this might actually be a version of Bishamon I like. Supposedly he had other... He's still a charge character. Yeah, he's still a charge character. I made it sound like he's just more powerful in other ways, since he doesn't have the ghosts. Well, that's how you do the low slash. It's just a charge with back forward charge with kicks. Still want to figure out if he's got a down up charge move, but I can't seem to do it. I'm always terrible with those. I definitely like this version more just because it doesn't have all those annoying ghosts running around everywhere. And I don't want to control people with ghosts. Also, are all his characters going to be this, or colors going to be this crazy? And I like the intros and outros. So that is that ghost-free version, or maybe he's a ghost himself. I mean, I guess he's some kind of spirit creature anyway. Alright, so... there's a vampire hunter version of Phobos. Like, we really needed that. Who I think is the other name for Pyron, right? Japanese name for Pyron. Highlight Phobos from the character select screen by holding select. By holding select? Somebody wrote this weird. I think Phobos is Pyron. Could be Huitzil. Okay, I gotta look this up because I don't want to do the wrong one and feel dumb. Yes, it is Huitzil, however you pronounce his name. It's basically just an older version of him. You, holdings. It's written poorly because you hold select and that doesn't do it, so I'm going to press X or light punch. And apparently the main difference is that he hovers more or something. Oh, I see. Yeah, he hovers with his wheel on. That's definitely different. Feels a little more awkward too. Like his jump arc is really stiff. Weird. Definitely clutchier feeling. That was kind of cool looking. He's drawn really cool, all these mech forms. Alright, well, he's not my favorite character in any event. So that's that. Vampire Hunter 2 Donovan. Did I already do that? No. These are all listed in like separate lists, confusingly. Vampire Hunter 2 Donovan. Hold select while choosing Donovan from the character select screen. Alright. Hit light punch. This is just an older version of Donovan. Oh, that was different. Whoa. Yeah, that's different. That's a totally different. I think I didn't have that before. Whoa, yeah, that didn't even require... None of these require energy charges. Maybe they didn't anyway? No, maybe they didn't. Whoa! Well, Donovan is kind of a mystery to me anyway, so what exactly the differences here are? I don't know. And I think the fact said something about the main difference, but I don't know. Well, now I want to know. I'm not even going to pause. Just going to let it rock. Okay, this says... sword use is like in Darkstalkers 2. Well, that's not illuminating. Well. Vampire Hunter 2 Victor. Select while choosing Victor. Yeah. So many of these. Yeah. Hi, Victor. Oh man, it's getting late. I'm starting to think I see spiders crawling across the floor, and then I look again, and there's no spider there at all. Wait. Yeah, I'll select button on Victor. So select. Yeah, I've done that one. I think that's it then. Alright, well that's all the alternate versions. All of that junk. So I think we did it. I can't get out of here. It's the heavy kick color. See, you can set a punch ×3, kick ×3 buttons. I'm not really sure what the Dark Force 1 and Dark Force 2 buttons are, come to think of it. Although maybe hitting different... does hitting different... Like, you can activate it with light punch, light kick, and with heavy punch, heavy kick. I guess I didn't try medium punch, medium kick, but does that change the way they actually operate? I mean, that's the kind of thing I should look up in effect, because I probably won't be able to tell. Ah! I'm curious though, for instance, can you activate it with medium punch, medium kick? I don't know if that made any difference, but then what's this? Dark Force 1 L2, Dark Force 2 L1. I think I mixed those up myself when I was messing around earlier. So if I get another chance and I hit L1. Wait a second. Oh. So you can do different powers? Because that's not how a normal power works. So let me try. Yeah, normally it's more like that. Oh man, so there's actually different dark forces per character? Because if I activate don't kill him, There's yet another costume. Well, Jeez. So much stuff in this game. So... Donovan, heavy kick. I already did that one. Good for me. And we'll try his Dark Forces too. Not that I remember what his Dark Forces 1... No, something to do with his sword. His sword was just attacking side by side with me. Ugh. So B.B.Hood, okay. One. Now it's spinning more. I don't think it was doing that before. Let me try it. I'll do L2. So you can't do those without a charge. I'm just saying. 2. Oh, it's just swooping around in different patterns. Well, that is nuts. Now, I wonder if you get those by hitting the different button combinations. Okay, now I gotta look that up. Alright. Okay, so it said, oh shoot, I screwed my buttons up. It said it depends on the strength of the buttons. So, probably you don't need these shortcuts. You can just, But the other thing is that only certain characters, as it turns out, have multiple dark forces. And I think the most anybody has is 2. And it said it depends on the strength of the buttons that you use to activate it with. So, in theory, I don't need to use those special mapped separate function buttons. I can just use... Oh, I gotta make this color. Inside of a pumpkin color. Okay, so if I hit, well, I did it before with light punch and light kick, and that did her mirrory one, or no, her trailing one. So if I do heavy punch and heavy kick. What? That was just weird. I'm not even sure what that was. Okay, let's try medium punch and medium kick. That's her trailing one. That's just like the light. Owie, owie, owie. Oh, I think that was attack. Okay, so if I do heavy and... There, so that, yeah, so you can either do light, medium, medium, which is the same, that's the Dark Forces 1 power, or you can do heavy punch, heavy kick, which is the second Dark Force for some characters, such as Lilith, but other characters only have 1, like Raptor only has 1. Well, this game's nutty. Still don't understand this stage. Alright. Is that about everything? I mean, I could show you training, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go into collection. I'm not going to try more original character. I do have separate videos. Don't have the microphone, but I have entire videos where I'm grinding original character mode. Yeah, I think that's about it. Okay, so thanks for watching this extremely long video of me going through all of the characters and hidden characters and nonsense in... there was a few nonsense things I didn't go through, but I did go through all the characters in Darkstalkers 3 on PS1. Next, I think I will just go do some Virtua Fighter 5 quest mode. I think up next is I can't even think of names. The woman, the Chinese woman. I was gonna say Chun-Li, but that's terrible. That's not her name. Anyway, whoever it is, I can't think right now. I've been doing too much of this. I think she's next in my rotation. I'm such a terrible person. And what I'm going to do after that, for the episode after that, I'm not sure. I still have... I have Capcom Fighting Jam, as I mentioned, which is basically the same as Evolution. I've done all the Virtua Fighters. I have 2 Arc System Works licensed PS2 2D fighting games, which I have not recorded on the microphone before, so I have to do those. I have Street Fighter. No, I've done that on microphone, of course. I do have to do those just to get the volume. I'll have to do Street Fighter Alpha Anthology and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike from the PS2 Anniversary Collection at some point, just to be sure I have the microphone levels set along with everything else. But the actual Street Fighter I do have left to do is Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition from the Street Fighter 2 collection on PS1, which is, I think, the best version of Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition I have, because it's got less input delay than the, say, the PS4 version in 30th Anniversary. It also has just a cleaner graphic conversion, because it is in 240p and doesn't rely on other sort of scaling effects. I still have World Heroes Gorgeous, the collection of the World Heroes games. That's on a PS2 disc. And I still have Foon Super Combo. That is another Neo Geo collection. But I would only play what's the second one called? I forget. Whatever the second one of the 2 games in Foon Super Combo is. I don't like the first one. I have to do that. Then I have one more game on PS3, a PSN game from Japan only, I think. Yeah, it is. That's a 2D game. Pretty weird. I have recorded it a long time ago, a couple times, but they were short videos and no microphone, of course. So that I have to do as well. So I'm not sure which one I will do after a little dip back into Virtua Fighter Quest mode. Maybe I'll just knock off Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition? I don't know. Super Combo, maybe? Well, there's some options. So that is all the fun and games for right now. I really should be getting more sleep. I'm going to be a wreck basically for the next 2 weeks, and then the presidential election will hopefully be over, and I won't be distracted by all the news nonsense every day, and I will be able to do these, get these recorded in a slightly more timely fashion each evening. So thanks for listening and watching to all this silliness of me. Basically, these PS1 Darkstalkers games are pretty great. The first one does have a lot of slowdown, but I still kind of like it just for the, I think the cast is much more iconic, much more concentrated, and I like the backgrounds, even though some of them cause slowdown. They're very colorful and super animated and just nuts. So I think both of these games are worth playing, really. At least that's my position at the moment. So they're both still in my coveted game rotation. Yeah. So that's all. Good night, sleep tight, etc., etc. Bye bye.